If you think you might lose your home, that's disturbing, especially for old people like me.
Several weeks of wildfires, still no rain. Our team is on wildfire watch as the news starts now.
With coverage you can count on, this is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 6 in HD.
No end is in sight as wildfires rage on in the Tennessee Valley. Thanks for joining us. I'm Cindy Sexton.
And I'm David Carroll. This was the view today. The blaze is making it so difficult for us to breathe, and the smoke filling several parts of our viewing area. Here's a look at the flames in Tennessee, Georgia, and Alabama. It's certainly widespread. And a closer look at the wildfires in our area. Our Channel 3 team on Wildfire Watch begins with team coverage and Channel 3's Cameron Taylor, who joins us live from Lookout Mountain, where some residents have had to leave their homes. Cameron?
Well, David, officials didn't want to take any chances with this wildfire, so neighbors in the Lookout Highlands subdivision packed up their stuff, put it into suitcases, and got out of there as quickly as possible. They only had a matter of minutes.
It just is a very odd feeling. You just don't really know what to take.
Ann Grimes and her husband took 30 minutes to grab enough clothes and food to last them for a few days. They're one of the lucky ones who didn't have to travel far to find shelter. The couple owns a real estate business across the street from the subdivision.
The only thing we lack is a shower. So we had everything else, and we even put in real plates and silverware, so we weren't eating on paper and plastic.
What they call their second home has become a meeting spot for neighbors to talk. Harry Abel is part of the neighborhood watch group and helped tell people they needed to leave. He admitted he was skeptical at first.
I was one that said, I'm not leaving. I'm going to protect my house. And then as we drove around telling other people you need to leave, it dawned on me that if something happened, I would try to deal with it. I'm not prepared to deal with it.
Firefighters are prepared to deal with it. The largest fire on Lookout Mountain has burned more than 1,300 acres, and officials expect it to grow to 3,200 acres. Crews don't expect the flames to reach around 60 homes inside the Lookout Highlands neighborhood. They're using the evacuation as a way to protect the property and give firefighters more elbow room to work. Concerns are still out there.
If you think you might lose your home, it's disturbing, especially for old people like me. That's things I've worked for all my life. I'd like to keep it.
Abel and his wife packed some of their most important items, including their legal documents, computers, cell phones, medicines, and some clothes. They're staying with friends nearby.
This is a once-in-a-lifetime. In my 71 years, I haven't done this before, and I hope I never do it again.
Neighbors now wait to hear when they can return home.
We're just not physically prepared to clear out the house.
Right now, the fire is 10% contained, so firefighters still have quite a bit of work to do, but they are doing everything that they can at the moment. And so far, neighbors haven't been given a timeline of when they can go back home. And since Friday, the two largest hospitals here in the Scenic City have treated about 100 patients for breathing difficulties related to that smoke. We're going to turn things over to Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Kelly McCarthy for an update on the air quality report. Kelly.
Karen, we're learning that the air quality is so bad at certain times of the day here that even the most healthy people should be taking caution. It's been a code orange for the last several days in the Chattanooga area. The wildfire smoke is clearly visible from downtown and around the Tennessee Valley. Now, Monday's hourly update shows some of the worst air quality levels the Air Pollution Control Bureau has ever seen. The air quality index has been recording numbers between 100 and 200. Now, typically, these readings never even reach the triple digits.
It's obviously you shouldn't be out jogging this time of morning with readings like that, even if you are a healthy adult.
Irritation of the airway, making it inflamed and itchy, and so these patients basically just continually cough and basically get short of breath.
The highest levels were recorded today, Monday, at about 10 a.m. Now, it appears that the air quality is worst in the mornings and then it clears up a bit during the afternoons, but it's still categorized as unhealthy for everyone, no matter what time of day you're outside in these conditions. I'm Kelly McCarthy, live in Chattanooga, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Kelly. Crews are using a number of tools to get the fires under control, including helicopters dumping water and a plane spraying a special chemical on the fires.
Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Kate Smith got a look inside a plane using fire retardant and talked to the pilot about it. Kate joins us live with more on what the pilot goes through on a daily basis to fight these fires.
Well, David, the plane arrived in Chattanooga 10 days ago on November 4th. It's not its first trip to the scenic city, but the pilot says it's definitely its longest.
Once we open up, those gears open up.
It's a day off for pilots with the C-130 Hercules, a former military plane now used for fighting wildfires. The aircraft has been flying over Signal and Lookout Mountains after the Tennessee Forestry Division called them in for backup.
A really, really big fire, and you don't have enough resources to put on it, you may just end up going out and helping one specific aspect of the fire. Whereas, meanwhile, if there was a smaller fire that started, maybe we could have done something with that one and actually stopped it.
Todd Davis and his crew are responsible for deciding where and when to spread the fire retardant on the burning brush and debris. A strategic approach for field crews.
Is laid on the ground in advance of the fire. As the fire moves toward it, the oxygen is taken out of the fire and it actually slows the advance of the fire down.
Pilots make multiple trips a day, flying over the Tennessee Valley. They've made 32 flights since being in Chattanooga and dropped over 130,000 gallons of retardant onto the fiery wilderness.
When we go out, we don't just go out looking for fire and dropping fire retardant. It's a very structured approach to actually get the resource out to the fire.
The extra backup for firefighters isn't cheap. It costs around $10,000 for each flight. But Davis says you can't put a price tag on safety.
Helping the guys on the ground and stopping the advance of a fire and helping save a home or helping save a natural resource, then that's pretty important.
This pilot says he receives a lot of attention for his work, but he says the real heroes are those on the ground, battling the blaze up close.
They're the ones out there starting early in the morning and digging line early in the morning all day long and then possibly into the night as well. So they definitely have more strenuous activities to do than we do.
The Federal Emergency Management Agency says they plan to help pay for some of the costs to fight these wildfires. FEMA says the agency agreed last week to reimburse 75% of the cost. In Dade County, I'm Kate Smith, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Kate. The Tennessee Forestry Division is working 3 major fires in the state right now. The one on Flippers Bend on Signal Mountain in Hamilton County is at 1,000 acres and 90% containment. The second picture you see is Mowbray Mountain, also here in Hamilton County at 800 acres and 70% contained. And at the bottom of your screen, crews are working to extinguish a blaze on Smith Mountain in Sequatchie County. It's 960 acres and now we're told it is fully contained. An arson arrest was made in connection to that fire on Smith Mountain.
The Georgia Forestry Commission is working a fire on Fox Mountain in Dade County, one on Lookout Mountain, and one in the Cohutta Wilderness. Officials are closely watching the fire on Fox Mountain. It has spread to 2,000 acres. The Cohutta Wilderness fire is being called the largest in Georgia. It has burned 6,400 acres and is only 11% contained.
We have an entire section dedicated to Wildfire Watch on our website, WRCBTV.com. Coming up on Eyewitness News at 6.
My roots are in Avondale, East Chattanooga Avondale. These are my roots. And I love this neighborhood.
A 23-year veteran at the Chattanooga Police Department protects the same streets he walked as a kid. How he uses his roots to better his career next. We'd like to introduce you to a Chattanooga police officer who spends his time in a familiar place every day, protecting the streets in which he grew up.
He says the common ground helps build trust in the community. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Michelle Herron takes a ride with him as he explains why he became a police officer.
Lieutenant Glenn Scruggs started his career in law enforcement 23 years ago. But his love for Chattanooga started much earlier, right here in Avondale. Now he's using his roots to help him on the job. Sometimes it just takes a different perspective, a different view. This is Avondale. For one officer, his heart is here and here. 3 miles away in a sprawling 2-story concrete complex most people will never visit. Inside CPD headquarters is Chattanooga's Major Crimes Unit. It's where the best of Chattanooga's finest handle the city's worst cases. This book shows most of those cases involve a gun, and it's the job of people like Lieutenant Glenn Scruggs to figure out who did it and why. Crime can be personal, so can solving it.
My roots are in Avondale, East Chattanooga, Avondale. These are my roots, and I love this neighborhood.
The wake-up call in the middle of the night often sends this 23-year department veteran to the same streets he walked as a kid. Of the 111 shootings this year, 36% happened in the East Chattanooga zone.
So it's nothing for me to go to a scene and I'm dealing with the son of a guy I played ball with in school or a guy I hung out with in high school. That's commonplace.
That common ground builds trust. He knows their stories. He hopes for better endings.
When guys see me and I deal with people, they know I'm from down here. They know that I've walked in the same, shoes they walked in. Heck, to a degree, still walking in them.
Speckled along Glass Street is where Scruggs finds his best memories.
I catch my very first paycheck right here at Sandy's. I mean, these folks have always been here for this community, and this community has always been here for these folks.
But far too often, it's also a place where moms, dads, sisters weep behind the crime scene tape and police lights. At the end of every street is the choice to turn, and Scruggs knows every day offers choice. He made his.
And that's probably that's probably one of the biggest turning points of my whole doggone life. And my buddy got me to apply to the Chattanooga Police Department.
Lieutenant Scruggs isn't the only officer from our area. In fact, most of the department is either from Chattanooga or the surrounding areas. Reporting in Hamilton County, I'm Michelle Herron, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Michelle, and we sure appreciate his hard work. Coming up on Eyewitness News at 6, you'll meet Tyler.
He loves designing artwork and says he wants to find a school to pursue his dream. His ultimate goal, though, to find his forever family.
And are there changes ahead in the forecast? A lot of us sure hope so. Meteorologist Paul Barris will let you know what we're going to see in the next few days, right after the break. You know, the greatest gift a family can give is to open their home to a child who has no home.
16-year-old Tyler knows his time is short, but he hasn't given up hope for finding a forever family. We first met him 2 years ago and chat with him again tonight.
This one, it says Joker. I did that by myself.
That is so cool.
I just thought about it one day.
Tyler's artwork is amazing. He's constantly creating graphics and characters.
The thing I remember the most was you said you already knew what you wanted to do when you grew up.
Yeah.
And you haven't changed.
No.
Tell me about it.
I want to be a Nike shoe designer when I grow up.
And that hasn't changed.
No.
It is still his ultimate dream, and Tyler has a plan to get there.
I know I probably have to do a lot of designing classes or something like that. I've been looking at schools like with art programs.
Tyler is introspective, and as he matures, he wants to do the right thing. He credits others with his progress.
Wouldn't say it wasn't without help, you know. There's been a lot of people that's tried and helped me. And there's a lot of people who have helped me.
Tyler wants to belong. He wants family time. He needs a forever family that will provide love and affection. And it's apparent he feels the window of opportunity is slipping away.
I just want one soon because, you know, I'm older than a lot of other people, and, you know, I'm 16 and I'm almost graduated high school. Next year's my last year of high school, and I just want to be somewhere before I grow up.
If you're considering adoption, take a minute to explore what it takes to be an adoptive or foster parent. And we have some resource numbers posted on our website, wrcbtv.com. Let's check in right now with Paul for our full weather forecast. Paul.
All right, we're going to see a crazy week of temperatures. It's going to get up to nearly 80 degrees by Thursday, and then a big drop off as the temperatures drop to near 50 degrees or so into Sunday and Monday of next week. So up and down, that's the way things are going. That's the time of year, this is the time of year that stuff happens. Showers across the mid-Atlantic states moving towards New York City, up into New Jersey, showers down through Florida, and absolutely nothing near here. Winds are out of the southwest at 6, blowing that smoke again. From the southwest off to the northeast, so the visibilities at the airport have gone up. So it's getting a little better, at least at the airport. But if you're still near a fire and you're just to the north of the fire, the wind's going to be blowing, again, from the southwest to the north. And for tomorrow, the winds will be out of the west. Currently 61 in the city and 60 in Dalton, 48 already out in New Murphy. 67, 36 the high and the low. Good forecast from Nick Austin. We're 19.5 inches below normal in rainfall. Chatsworth, Dalton 67, Trenton 68, well it was 58 Ford Mountain, and about 68 in Cleveland, 66 Ooltewah, 66 up in the Dunlap. Lakeside was 67, Eastridge only got up to 63. Lookout Mountain was only 63 too, Gwen Tugman told me. Kegel Mountain 62, while it was 66 in Etowah, 10 Mile at 64, 60 Turtletown, Murphy 63, and Jasper Lois told me 66. Fire forecast is showing a dry cold front. We're used to those. They come by every now and then. And cools us down just a little bit, but sort of weakens. Another cold front to the north of us by Wednesday morning. And again, dry air. But by Wednesday, it looks like the winds will start shifting as this high pressure moves on by. The winds will be out of the south coming up through Wednesday night, Thursday, and into Friday. There'll be some showers out to the west of us by Friday morning. We may see a few showers, but they'll be light on Saturday. Ducktown tomorrow, you'll hit 64. We'll see a few more clouds. Spring City should be near 66. Tonight, though, smoke and haze, 42 for the low. Otherwise, clear skies. Tomorrow, 67 with some smoke and haze, westerly winds at about 5 to 10. So not very strong winds, which is good for the firefighters. That won't be a bigger problem for them. Tomorrow night, 42 with fair skies, some more smoke and haze. On Wednesday, looks dry, 72. 77 on Thursday. Friday, 74, so very warm temperatures coming up. That's well above normal. That's almost 15 degrees above where it should be. And then much colder weather for Sunday and Monday, and a hard freeze by Monday and probably into Tuesday mornings. So get down maybe into the 20s in most spots.
I like those little raindrops on the Saturday thing. Even if it's a slight chance, it sure looks good.
Yeah, it looks good, but it's not going to do much.
Sad but true. Thank you, Paul.
In sports, the Lady Mocs look for back-to-back wins over Power 5 conference teams.
Remember they beat Rutgers the other day? Well, 20th ranked Florida is in town tonight. Paul Shaheen tells us more.
Yeah, I can tell you this, top 25 teams, well, they've been humbled a time or two inside McKenzie Arena. Coming with Florida tonight, of course, Bradley Central's finest, Brooke Copeland. Remember her? Well, she is now a Florida Gator. Jim Foster sings high praises for Copeland before tip-off. Plus, what's up with that Tennessee run defense? Butch Jones trying to answer that next in sports. Jim Foster and the Lady Mocs welcome in another top 25 powerhouse tonight. Under Foster, those visits have been humbling for all but a few. Remember, it was 2 years ago the Lady Mocs beat Tennessee, Stanford, and Villanova inside McKenzie Arena. Tonight it's 20th ranked Florida. The Lady Mocs and the Gators have met 3 previous times, but tonight will be the first meeting in Chattanooga. The Lady Mocs hold the all-time edge, 2-1. Now, the Gators roster features a very familiar face, that being former Bradley Central star Brooke Copeland. She is 1 game into her junior season at Florida. Copeland had 8 points and 6 rebounds in the Gators' season opening win against South Alabama. Foster is well aware of Copeland's presence and has been since her days at Bradley Central.
I liked her when she was in high school. I think she's a kind of player that very versatile. She's big, but she can shoot a 3, and I always liked the fact that she was a tough kid because she took a lot of charges. when she was in high school or playing AAU basketball. So she's a tough kid.
They tip at 6:30. I'll be there with highlights for you back here at 11. The stat that mattered was in the win column, but the stat that cannot be ignored was Kentucky's 635 total offensive yards, 443 of which came on the ground. Butch Jones wasn't ready to answer that question on Saturday, but now that he has seen the game film, here's his take. Be warned, there's no less than 3 Butchisms involved in the answer.
We had too many missed tackles, and a lot of times it's lunging and not running our feet, keeping our eyes on the thighs, driving for 5, which we talk about. One play, it may be a missed fit. The next play, it may be a missed tackle. The next play, it may be not winning at the junction point and getting off the block. When we did it well, we did a very good job, but there was too much inconsistency in terms of the run game.
The Vols get Missouri at home Saturday at 3:30. Remember, with a win over Missouri and a Florida loss to LSU, Tennessee would then again be in control of the SEC East. Looking further ahead, it would then come down to the season finale at Vanderbilt. As it was announced today, that Tennessee at Vanderbilt game on November 26th will be a 7:30 SEC Network kickoff. We also know right now that the Georgia Tech game will be a noon kickoff on the SEC Network. The annual Iron Bowl, Auburn at Alabama, will be 3:30 CBS. That game lost a little punch this week as Georgia beat Auburn, so now Alabama's already locked up the SEC West.
That's not going to stop Auburn from wanting
No,
to
it will
beat
not.
Alabama.
Throw everything out the window in those 2 meetings.
It just doesn't matter. Yeah. Hey, No Shave November is continuing. The Channel 3 guys around here are growing. And I have to admit, some of us are starting to feel like it's a little irritating.
Every time I go off of camera, I'm doing this.
Yeah. So I don't know if we're going to make it the whole month. We're trying. I mean, Paul Barris has done it 30 years, and Mr. Shaheen and I are wimping out after 2 weeks.
But the point is, you see it, tell somebody to get checked. It may save a life.
That's right. It's all about cancer awareness and research.
All right.
Mr. Barris, do you have any hope for us in all the smokiness?
Well, I'm looking at some new weather charts. You know, they come in all day long. I was looking at some of the weather charts. They're not showing anything really for this week. This weekend doesn't look too good for any type of significant rain. Maybe the end of next week, but that's so far off. You know, in the meantime, we're just going to have to hunker down as far as do not start any fires, obviously, folks. 56 to 45, lots of haze and some smoke still out there. 42 to 46 when you wake up in the morning. And we're looking at 67 tomorrow and into the 70s for the end of the week.
Thank you, Paul. Be careful out there. Have a good night.
What usually happens?
Well, yeah, and then they're not going to notice that.